fusing people. Today we're looking at freeze and fuse. That is using powders like this and a mould like this to make beautiful glass like this. This freeze and fuse is a brilliant way of adding three-dimensional details to your pictures and can be a really good cost-effective way to do it. So to do this you need some silicone moulds. These you can buy off Amazon and Temu and places like that. Ones like this with quite simple patterns work really well. Ones like this are a little bit too complicated. The glass kind of gets stuck into this and it's really hard to get the piece out once you've frozen it. So I don't really use that one anymore. You can even buy amazing ones like this. If you've got the time and patience, you can delicately paint the face and the hair. This is a fairy and the wings. You've got to be careful with very delicate other pieces to get this out without them breaking. Can be really hard on smaller pieces like this and even smaller leaves. And if you go tiny leaves, when you've got to remember all your pieces will shrink by about 10%. So a leaf this size will come down to smaller. So when you're talking about a leaf this size, it's going to become so small as to be impossible to see that it's actually supposed to be a leaf. So I don't tend to bother with really small ones because of the shrinkage. So it's always worth remembering you are going to get shrinkage in your pieces. You need some frit. This, I've got some pimento red frit. Actually, what I've got mixed up here is deep red frit though. And you just want to mix it with water until you get a slurry. When you kind of stop mixing, the granules will settle to the bottom and the water will come to the top. And you might need to just add a bit more water. You want to have a good movement in the glass because with these like detailed pieces, you want to make sure the glass can settle in to all the cracks and crannies. So effectively you can get your mould and you can put a bit of what I call slurry, which is powder. You want to definitely be using the powder, not frit, into the mould. So when you get good at this, you can do some amazing detail in moulds. So for instance, you can put one colour frit in the centre and then other colours around and get a really detailed design in your projects. But to start off with, it's probably good just to stick with one colour and get the hang of it. You want to tap it out a bit and you can see the water will rise to the surface. And then you can take the water off. And you sort of can see you've got a bit more slurry here and tap it out a bit more and take some more water off. You may need to add a bit more glass once you're taking some of the water off. But effectively you're wanting to get as much as possible for the water to rise to the surface, and you can take the water off, leaving more glass powder behind. Now there's a sweet spot. You don't want to take all the water out, otherwise when you freeze it, because that's what we're going to do, there'll be no water molecules to bond the piece together. But if you have too much water in, that area will shrink and your piece can be quite unstable and quite small. So we like to use a very cheap off-the-shelf vibrator to really help bring the water to the top, and it also helps get rid of any bubbles. If any of you done chocolate, you do the same. You kind of have a vibrating machine when you're using chocolate in moulds to make sure that there are no bubbles left in the chocolate and the moulds, and this helps do that as well. Now if you don't want to use a vibrator, you could use an old electric toothbrush, but they're quite kind of cheap to buy and handy to use. So you can see I'm repeating the process a number of times, getting as much water out. Now I feel that's good. It's still got a bit of a shine, there's still a bit of water in there. If you tap it, I can still see some water coming to the surface, but it's more matte. It's less sludgy than it was. So I'm hoping that that will freeze well, but not have too much water in it. So this can now go in the freezer until it's frozen solid. So if you want to do a little bit more complicated mould, you can then just maybe put some darker in first. So I'm just using the palette knife to get the darker colour in some of the creases of the mould. And then after that, you can backfill it with another colour. And then you'll get two-tone. And if you're super careful, you can make really intricate details using this method. And you still do the same, take the liquid off and put it in the freezer, and then we can pop it out. I hope this has given you a fantastic look at freeze and fuse, something that's super easy for anyone in the fusing community to use. You can pick up a mould pretty much anywhere. Temu have loads, Amazon have loads, you can probably find them on Etsy as well. So definitely go check those out, buy yourself a few and have a little play with freeze and fuse. Just remember, everything shrinks by about 10%. And until next time, happy fusing.